a wrap.
It's done. It's a success.
I'd like to extend a hearty welcome to you.
And Queen Latifah Moms Rita Owens came through and helped us out.
I'd like to kind of get things going because we know why we're here.
We weren't sure how it was going to turn out, but like we've done with so many other things, we just kind of step out on faith.
Guess what, y'all? I've never been at MC before, so I'm really excited about this. I'm used to being behind the scenes, and I really thought that I was very calm about it because I love the guys to death. I said, oh, sure, I'll do it, no problem. And I went back to working in school because Rameck caught me at my desk in school with like 40 kids around me, so I really didn't know what I was saying yes to. I just said yes.
One of us had an idea to give away some money that we pulled together as one scholarship to one young person who was going to school. We wanted to make that one person's life a little bit better. And the little $3,000 that we had probably would have been the first month of the first semester. But that's what we had.
It wasn't planned, but it created a formula. And once we realized what the formula was, we wanted to give that back. We wanted to package it and give it back to the community, because we realized if it could work for us, it could work for other people, because a lot of the problems that we had to overcome the same problems that a lot of other people have to overcome, and the way we were able to deal with them, maybe that the other people can deal with them in our communities. And so we just took that and ran with it, and then that's why you have what you have today.
I think people are excited about our fundraiser because they realize our mission and our message, and they know that it's a good one, and they want to help and support it.
As businesses, we owe an obligation to our communities. We have a commitment to be involved. And we are honored to be a part of what the Three Doctors and the Three Doctors Foundation are doing.
What they're doing is showing young people that there are other possibilities for their lives, and that where they are isn't necessarily where they'll always have to be.
We grew up in poor, broken homes in New Jersey neighborhood, riddled with crime, drugs, and death, and came of age in the 1980s at the height of a crack epidemic that ravaged communities like ours throughout the nation.
Our role as adults and as corporate citizens is to make certain that they keep their eyes on the prize, and that we help them understand that there are lots of prizes out there.
Costco has a commitment to give back to the communities where we do business.
Because they realize that, look, these guys can actually get at the people and the things that we want to get at. And so let's be behind these guys. Let's help to support them. And many other organizations and companies are starting to realize that, hey, these guys, they have something here.
The first 2 weeks we kicked off the event, people were emailing like 1 or 2. We may have gotten like 5 to 10 checks, and it wasn't looking too good. It was really bleak. We didn't have nobody. We didn't have Rita Owens. We didn't have Meredith Vieira. And then like at the last moment, everything just started to take shape.
Good evening. It is such a pleasure to be here tonight.
I had heard about the book, The Pact, and about these three doctors, and I read the book, and I was just blown away by their spirit, by their story, by their determination, and by the simplicity of it all.
People are mesmerized by it because it's something that's being pioneered and plotted by us. We don't really know where we're going, and we don't have any reluctance in sharing it.
I think people respond to that, as well as just to see us three young black males, which is not an everyday occurrence, that you see young men with a nurturing, loving relationship that they're proud of and not ashamed of.
There were no doctors or lawyers walking the streets of our communities. Where we lived, hustlers reigned, and it was easy to follow their example. 2 of us landed in juvenile detention centers before our 18th birthdays.
To see the healthiness in our relationship, and to see the realness, more importantly, in our relationship. We don't hide anything. If we don't like each other today, we show it. If we love each other today, we show it. We come from our heart.
It's a constant feed off of each other that helps us to continue making ourselves better and better and better. And people start, I guess they're marveling at that.
They also see that we're uniquely qualified for a lot of these things because we've been through a lot of these struggles that these kids are going through, and that's why these kids look up to us. They might embark on a career in medicine or whatever because they feel like if we could do it, then they can do it.
But inspired by caring and imaginative role models, one of us in childhood latched onto a dream of becoming a dentist, steered clear of trouble, and in his senior year of high school persuaded his 2 best friends to apply to a college program for minority students interested in becoming doctors.
People just are, I don't want to say intrigued, but I think they're just want to take a sigh of relief because they're seeing the impact of what we're doing, and it's an answer to all their questions and their prayers for their children, for their families.
My name is Shadora Howard. I am 13 years young, not old as my elders would say. I feel exciting, like real encouraged and motivated to do the same as they did.
My name is Brandon Hallman, and I'm here to speak tonight for the youth presentation.
It gave me a chance to establish some goals in my own life. Knowing how successful they were, I had no doubt that I can do the same.
It makes me feel kind of bigger. I don't know, I have like a little bit more power. I don't know.
I believe the children that aren't as advantaged as Brandon should have more access to mentors and to programs like this.
From the moment we made our pact, the competition was on. When one of us finished his college application, the other two rushed to send theirs out. When we participated in a 6-week remedial program at Seton Hall University the summer before our freshman year, each of us felt pressured to perform well because we knew our friends would excel, and we didn't want to embarrass ourselves or lag behind.
I was seeking to if I could just get one male for the incoming class, one inner city black male. I live in a neighborhood, and I would drive home daily and see them. Just males everywhere, and to go to the medical schools and the conferences and see on our college campuses that the African American male, black male, brown male, Hispanic male was not coming to college, was not coming to college for science, and definitely was not looking to be a doctor. I just wanted to get one. I felt if I could get one male, I would be lucky. So when 3 came, I was like, well, my goodness, what is this?
I took them at age 17 and worked them through on all areas: academics, behavior, speech, writing, talking, up in crowds, all oral presentation, financial aid, tracked them, stayed with them for 4 years to present them into medical school, place them into the medical schools.
In college, the three of us stuck together to survive and thrive in a world that was different from anything we had ever known. We provided one another with a kind of positive peer pressure.
First of all, we'll start with Dr. George Jenkins. As a young boy growing up in Newark, New Jersey, Dr. George Jenkins had a powerful advantage over many of his peers. Pretty simple, though, but very powerful. He had a dream. It was a dream that kept him off his crime-ridden streets and dedicated to his school. It was a dream that helped him to inspire 2 friends that he made in high school. It was a dream that now helps him inspire countless others, many in this room tonight. That dream was to become a dentist.
I don't know how he latched on to that dream, but somehow, some way, he believed that he can become a dentist. And I think a lot of it was instilled from when he had braces put on at UMDNJ. And what happened, and this is how crazy life is sometimes, a dentist took 5 minutes of his time just quizzing him on the different teeth in the mouth. And George would name them, and by that way, he sparked an interest in George at an early age. And by taking 5 minutes of his time, he changed 3 people's lives. My name is Dr. George Jenkins. I'm the dentist of the group. I'm the oddball, as some of the young people like to call me when we go out.
There's a lot of information that I had to supply them at 17 about the quality of the education that they've received. They're not actually where they should be, whether it's math, writing, reading, or speaking, and they have to catch up.
College is hard. We heard that in our neighborhood so many times from so many people, and oftentimes from people who didn't go to college. That myth is defeating a lot of our young people before they even try, because no one else is following up with, no, it's not hard.
When one of us made an A on a test, the others strived to make A's too.
Man, when I got to college and I found out that I had my own room, I had cable, I had a meal plan, I was mad when they kicked me out after 4 years.
As the 5th of 6 children in one of New Jersey's poorest cities, Dr. Sampson Davis grew up in cramped living quarters, surrounded by fragmented families, crime, and drugs. In that way, he resembles so many other young people in that neighborhood. Still, he was a good student, able to strike the fragile balance between being smart, yet socially acceptable on the streets. And that was the skill, Dr. Davis says, that was most critical to his survival.
The truth of the matter is, the way that the pack all started, we were cutting class, okay?
So we were walking down the hall. It was during third period, and I think it was a history class, and we had a substitute. So we're like, okay, we're out of here. We're going to the gym to play basketball. So we're walking, and security came out of nowhere and started chasing us, and we just dodged into the library. And just so happened, it was a seminar going on about careers in medicine. And I immediately put my head on the desk and went to sleep. And
I find their stories so inspirational because they're real. They also have a tremendous sense of humor, which has carried them very far, equally with their determination.
So when George met up with us at the end of the seminar, he's like, yo, we should become doctors. So I was like, doctors? I'm like, well, how long is that? Which plays into the fact that I wasn't paying attention, right? I say, so is that a year or two? He said it's 8 years. I said, 8 years? I'm like, I'm 17. 8 years I'm going to be old.
I'm very confident. I believe in my students. I believe in their dream. The desire is in their heart. That's all that needs to be there.
And last but not least, Dr. Rameck Hunt. He was born like many other young men in Newark, New Jersey, where the neighborhood either makes you or it breaks you. Dr. Hunt found several obstacles on his path to success, yet he was determined by the end of his career that there would be something positive to look back on.
The problem with going last is the two long-winded people take up all the time, and the program over, and I can't really say what I wanted to say. So, thank y'all and good night. No, I'm teasing.
If we can make a contribution to the lives of other young people, to help them have focus, to help them have hope, and that, I believe, is what makes the doctors and their efforts unique, perhaps, or at least worthy of note, and that is they haven't forgotten from whence they came.
You know, a lot of people in our community are getting locked up. A lot of people in our communities are dying, going to jail. They're not getting their education.
Nobody needs to be in jail. People need to be in school, and I want to see that. And I want to see our message grow and grow until it's a household message.
African Americans make up 12% of the country, or just over 12%. Well, that's men and women. So men make up a little over 5% of this country. But we make up almost 50% of the people in jail. And usually, if somebody dies at a young age, it's usually because of an accident or something. As suspected, accidents are the #1 cause of death for white non-Hispanics for 25 to 34. Well, when you at the same age group, for blacks, the #1 cause of death is homicide. And for women, it's HIV. That's staggering.
You know, how powerful is that? We are losing our youth, guys. We are really losing a whole generation, slowly but surely. There's no way in the world that you should have a better chance coming from inner city community, ending up in jail, dropping out of high school, becoming pregnant, being affected by the AIDS epidemic. There's no way in the world. You have a better chance at that than you do with going to college.
We studied together, we worked summer jobs together, we partied together, and we learned to solve our problems together.
I have vision for my students. I see them. I see them long range doing all types of things. I just do.
We're doctors today because of the positive influence that we had on one another.
We want to put a face to health and education. I think we ride down the street, instead of seeing, an advertisement for Coors Light, you should see a billboard of the 3 doctors, the 2 architects, the 4 astronauts, the 5 teachers, the 6 whatever. You got to bring the glamour and the glitz to it.
We want to put our kids in the forefront to be leaders. We want to put them at the helm. We want to put them in the front, and that's why we came up with this acronym, health, education. I threw in my little extra E with economics, leadership, and mentoring.
When you have something like this, we're crazy as a society not to support it.
This is God's plan, and we want to continue on. Obviously we have a hand in it, but it's a force higher than us.
Before I check out this planet, I want to see a dramatic shift in attitudes and trends in terms of education. And
even the point we have reached now is beyond our imagination. We never expect to reach national awareness the way that we have.
This will continue to grow, and it will continue to affect people, and it will continue to affect change in this country.
It's going to get better and better. You ain't seen nothing yet.